G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Draw with Jazza. I'm Jazza, and this is the announcement of the winners at the showcase for entries to the January 2018 Challenge of the Month, the first Challenge of the Month of the year, which was a colouring competition entitled Colour of Loss. In this month's Challenge of the Month, participants were required to colour in this image, which is an original illustration that I created myself as part of my colouring in book and was actually the result of a character design session video on this channel. You can check that out with a link in the card and in the description. And in entering the colouring competition, I wanted to see how far people could push themselves on a technical level, but also with an intensity that could really amplify that feeling of loss. Now, I was warned in the comments of the announcement video for this month's challenge that there would be a lot of entries, it being a colouring competition, which is awesome because it's a very low barrier to entry. And of course, yes, there were lots of entries. This is one of the most participated in challenges with over 2,100 entries, which is crazy. Now, obviously I can't show them all in this video, but I have made a gallery that you can check out of all of the entries. The link is in the description, so go check that out. And we're going to start off today's video with a showcase of some of the pieces that really were highlights for me and communicated that feeling of loss in really different ways through different uses of color and lighting, tone and texture throughout their piece. I love Corey Jordan's entry with the fiery skyline and the rays of light bursting from behind. Artist Trainer Louis' piece has a really nice spotlight feeling to it with a nice use of glowing blue colors. I love the intensity of the light on the surface of the character coming from the left of the image. Marshna's piece recreated some of the interior details, removing some of the lines or recoloring it to maintain the geometry and create a really nice seamless and solid aesthetic. Huion's entry has an intense contrast. I love that mix of hot yellows and cold ghostly blues. And Vinula Draws' piece has an opposite aesthetic with the heat coming from the ghost and the coldness coming from the grave. And I love the way that these contrasting hots and colds both are reflected on our central mourning character. Artist Tetio Tolis' piece has some fantastic contrast and rim lighting with some really subtle effects in the background, and I love the warmth emanating from the grave in the piece here. And Jose Drozdi's piece has a really cool fiery skyline. I love the way the clouds and the smoke are erupting from the background, and the colouring style has that really nice rounded and crisp feel to it. Andres Dreis 93's entry has a bit of a monotone feel to it, which really works in its favour, creating a sense that the entirety of the area is caked in apocalyptic ash, and our attention is brought immediately to the mourning character on the left, with much more subtlety lent to the ghost behind him. Saganowski's entry is depicted in the cold of winter, and I love the way that the snow is in the foreground and the background, and the way that the frost is emanating from the character's breath. Miss Survivor's entry has some cool rim lighting effects and a really nice gradient from the blues to the fiery horizon of the sky, and I love the way that Collywobble has depicted the ghost in these soft gradients, and it's really nicely painted in a fairly unintrusive way. The sky in Nagari's entry has such a gorgeous gradient, and I love the way the clouds are painted and the horizon shows a sun rising or setting, and the way that the light bounces off and creates a nice contrast on the surface of our mourning male character just looks really polished. Gatot Kurniawan's piece has some fantastic uses of different colours, some pinks and blues that we don't often see in these entries, and it's almost like there's more of a sense of hope and the dawning of a new day while letting go of the past, regardless of the pain that that's brought our character here. Roxeto's piece has a really cool flare rim light on the left of the character, which stands out nicely against the green of the background, and Shaquille Sadler's piece is the most wintry of all of the entries I've seen and pulled off to stunning effect. I love the way that the entirety of the midground and foreground of the dirt and the ground in the image has been converted into a snowy aesthetic, and I love the way that the cold shown through this piece and reflected on our character shows his determination to grieve, but also helps highlight the warmth of the lost lover standing behind him. Jellemonk's entry has a really interesting aesthetic and one of the more standout pieces as far as style alone goes, just a really interesting reinterpretation of the piece in really contrasting tones and a simple use of colour. Pixie's entry is a completely lineless reinterpretation of the piece using the same foundation geometrically, and I love the way this piece carries across. Aziken's entry has a more subtle approach to colours and contrast, and yet the nice mix of subtlety in the colours and the tones and desaturation used in combination with the rain and the tone conveyed through the piece really create a nice sense of calm while emphasising the quiet mourning of the loss this character's experienced. Artist Colourful Me really captured an ethereal glow from the ghost in this character, with some really nice highlights on areas such as the main character's edge and the cross of the grave, and yet everything else falls into the background, which is a nice emphasis on what the focus of this piece is, and specifically what the emotional focus is. Armjard88's entry looks so well painted, it could have been created by J.J. Abrams with those lens flares. It's just so epic and sci-fi. I love those hints of pink and purple in the ghost, and the really nice mix of colours and contrast in the main character, and I also love how much that background and the horizon or the sunrise is really just popping through that piece and highlighting it from the back. Grimmick's entry is another one of those which is more subdued in tone, and however subtly colours are used in this piece, it really does emphasise exactly what wants to be emphasised. The sun trying to shine through the clouds, and a really subtle allusion to the ghost that's there without there being very much attention drawn to it. Really the focus of this piece and the contrast throughout it is on the central character and the tomb he mourns over. Meanwhile, Adam Zis' entry is full of colour with a rich blue horizon, a golden glow coming from the lost lover, and colours throughout the main character's costume in this lineless recreation of the piece. I really love how solid the colouring in this image is. M. Trazalik's entry has an interesting approach with a very heavy light source on the left of the piece with next to no light source on the right, creating a really strong gradient on the surfaces and allowing for a very strong rim light on the ghost character to be essentially all that brings our attention to her. Diseased Robot 1's piece has some really intense colours mixed throughout here, all of which is surrounded by the poisonous green of the battlefield. Entry by artist Just Another Ghost has a really cool sense of lighting. I love the way that the rim lighting is consistent and very carefully placed throughout our piece and on our main character. And I love artist Jay Nera's entry with the really cool use of an eclipse in the sky in the background, and a very effective use of desaturated and earthy colours throughout the piece. Artist Viva Triss created an entry with some really hot colours leading into a purple in the horizon. I love the mixes in the clouds and the sky, and the way all of this in the environment reflects throughout the characters with that hint of gold to really make the piece pop. Last but not least, I love artist Hugh Kenny's depiction of this piece with really interesting mixes of earthy oranges and turquoise greens throughout the piece, really pulling things back into a more suggestive style of painting rather than something so literal. I also love how the painting style differs between that which is real and solid and the ghost or the ethereal character present in the piece. An amazing assortment of showcase pieces, I'm sure you'll agree. It was so fun to go through all of these entries, and with the foundation of the line work and geometry remaining the same, seeing how intensely the feeling of the piece changes through people's creative use of colours. It was really satisfying, and I'm so appreciative of everyone who's entered. Something I find really interesting going through thousands of pieces with the same image is it's almost like they're all part of one big story. Like this guy goes to the same spot every day, and all the images we're seeing are just different conditions in which he's mourned the same loss, which I just found an interesting little way of thinking about it. Anyways, it's time to move on to the prize categories of this challenge of the month, and the categories are divided into two categories. We have the beginner category and the open category. The beginner category is for people who are very young or very new to art, and they have their separate prize pool, and then later we're going to get to the open category. And the beginner category runner-up is Molnar Hanna with a piece whose depiction is extremely vivid in colour, really ambitious in the gradients, and I really like how solid it all looks, with a sky that's reminiscent of an aurora borealis and a really nice and ambitious mix of colours throughout. This is a fantastic piece. And the first prize in the beginner category goes to Mycia151, whose piece has a fantastic mix of fiery colours, an exceptional amount of detail and ambition, and I love the way that the atomic explosion is about to engulf our character who has spent his last moments mourning the loss of his lover. The mix of solid colours and textures throughout the piece is fantastic, and it's really well put together. Congratulations to the runner-up of the beginner category. You will receive an item of your choosing from the JAZZA'Sstudios.com shop, which is a place that I sell all of my own digital goodies, including including the colouring book that this piece has come from, that everyone's coloured in. The items on the JAZZA'Studios.com shop are lovingly handcrafted for your education and entertainment and amusement, from my Arty Games app and random generator to custom Photoshop brushes, a whole bunch of ebooks and photo reference packs. The list goes on. Go check it out if you're interested in any of those stuff. There's a lot I haven't been able to mention, of course, so the link is in the card and in the description. And then the winner of the beginning category of the challenge of the month will receive a signed copy of my How to Draw book, Draw with Jazza Creating Characters, your go-to guide for character design, as well as a Stillman & Byrne 5.5 by 8.5 Epsilon series sketchbook and an item of your choosing from the JAZZA'Studios.com shop. The winner of the beginner category will also receive 6 months of free premium SKILLSHARE.com membership. SKILLSHARE is an amazing website with over 18,000 classes in illustration, drawing, design, and more. I personally love and can vouch for SKILLSHARE. I have a course on there myself on how to be a YouTuber, so if you're interested in that, I'll put the link in the description. But beyond that, SKILLSHARE have set up a fantastic code for you, a link which you can access in the card and in the description, which gives you 3 months of premium SKILLSHARE membership for less than $1. This is awesome because premium membership usually costs about $10 a month, but for $1 you can get 3 solid months of unlimited access to the website. You can cancel at any time and really dive into the services SKILLSHARE provides, join in some courses, teach some yourself, take on some projects, and just really experience how great SKILLSHARE can be. So go check it out with a link in the card and in the description. Last but not least, the winner of the beginner category of the challenge of the month will receive a Huion 950P tablet. This is a brand new drawing tablet from Huion, and it features a battery-free stylus pen with edge-to-edge working area and smooth paper-like surface texture. The device has 8,192 levels of pressure sensitivity, and the device is thin and light, only 8mm in thickness and less than 500 grams in weight. Huion produce fantastic digital tablets at affordable prices. I can highly recommend them, and the H950P is a great entry level for people looking to get into digital art, so go check it out with a link in the card and in the description. And then beyond that, of course, Huion love our community so much that they're providing a special discount for you guys. You can get 5% off the H950P using the coupon code 950JAZZA. It's only valid for a limited time and can be applied to Amazon and the Huion.com website, so go check that out. So at last, we have arrived to the open category finalists, and out of the pool of finalists that I put together, I assigned one the winner and runner-up prize. But although not all of the finalists can be the first or second prize winner, they don't go home empty-handed. In fact, each of the finalists will receive a free copy of my newly released colouring in book, which contains over 35 other extremely high resolution and detailed images from character design sessions and Let's Draws on this channel, as well as some exclusive pieces never before released. So you can check that out yourself if you're interested, with a link in the card and in the description. Beyond that, all of the finalists and the runner-up will be in the running for the community prize, which you, the community, vote on and select the winner yourselves. So stay tuned for that. We'll get to that later, but let's start off by sharing with you the pool of finalists and then the winners. John Wing's entry has such a sense of solidity. I love the grit and texture throughout this entry, and how subtle but sharp the details and accentuations in the lighting of this piece are. I love the mix of colours in vivid densities background with a really hot and burning, almost molten horizon, reflecting on the clouds above, but eventually gradiating to a cooler, sort of poisonous green with mixes of purples in there. I just love the way that this all mixes together. Cortexiphan 7's really unique use of colours really caught my attention here, particularly the pinks and blues in the sky, which created a much more hopeful sense throughout this piece. And I love how these light colours are both integrated in the reflections of and the rim lights around these characters. Artist The Real Matalin's entry has a very solid aesthetic and colouring style. I love the way the Grim Reaper is subtly implemented into the background and the way the fiery clouds mix and gradiate towards the starry sky. Both aesthetics in the single skyline and horizon acting as a bit of foundation for the aesthetic we see with the characters in front of us. The burning morning character on the ground and the starry twilight of the angel or the ghost behind. Artist Domenico Formula's entry has such an incredible style. I love the textures and the way this all feels just so complete, and yet our attention is also focused very sharply into a specific area, almost channeled directly into the face of the mourning character. Even though there is so much burning attention on the character behind him, the detail and the contrast being on our main character really means that she is the highlight and the fiery support to him, both thematically and visually. I love the way Kitten Bomb's one piece has a mix of reds and purples throughout, the red feeling a little more earthy and apocalyptic, and the purples lending itself to a more ethereal sense as we dwell on the afterlife. And Pixeliarmus's entry has a really cool interpretation or addition to the scene, with the arms reaching from behind and holding the heart of the main character as she holds her own heart. Adding almost a little too much to the piece, so I wasn't entirely sure, but the concept was so clever that I thought I would include it into the finalists and share it with you, because this really is a stunning interpretation and astoundingly well painted and really well deserving of being a finalist, so I included it. These finalists, as you saw, were absolutely stunning, and their use of colour and technique, as well as conceptual tweaks to make their pieces stand out, were really just phenomenal. And I'm excited to now share with you the runner-up and then the winner for the open category of this challenge of the month. And the runner-up of the open category is artist Catflower Josie, whose piece has such an incredible balance of contrast in the way that the lighting of the sky really pushes and accentuates elements of the image, both creating the really effective rim lighting and intense contrast on the character and the grave, but also combined very effectively with our ghostly visage in a way that keeps her subtle and almost part of the background, and all of this with the occasional subtle punch of colour here and there, and the incredible attention to detail combines into an image that is just astounding to look at and really emphasises the intense emotion of the piece, especially in the eyes of the characters. Congratulations to the open category runner-up. You will receive 6 months of free premium Skillshare membership, granting you access to the many thousands of courses available there, and of course a copy of the 21 Draw Illustrator's Guidebook hardcover special edition, as well as a brand new Stillman & Byrne Epsilon Series 9x12 sketchbook and an item of your choosing from the JAZZA'Studios.com shop. And on top of all of that, of course, you are in the running as well as the finalists for the community voted community prize, which we'll get to in a moment. But now it is time to reveal the winner of this month's challenge of the month. And the winner of the open category of this challenge of the month is artist Mike Cat, with an entry which could easily be on a movie poster or a book cover. It's just so cool, it's hard to even describe how cool this is. I love the mix of purples and reds on the skin tones of the character, the way that the textures and the bluish contrast in the shadow areas of the character really creates a posterized sort of style, and everything comes together in a way that feels really seamless. I also love the intensity of the detail and the way the scope of the image has been enhanced with the apocalyptic sky opening up and unfolding to the heavens as we reveal our ghostly character standing behind him, and also the way the horizon behind the city line has been unfolded to reveal an even larger cityscape behind, but only in a way that's subtle and helps ground the piece and gives it a sense of context rather than pulling any attention away. I feel like this whole combination of factors helps build into the feeling and the aesthetic of the piece and highlights the emotion, enhances the tone and the sense of presence, and that this is a place and these are people that exist. The subtle reinterpretation of elements and implementation of new ones creates something that tells a heartfelt story, one that's heartbreaking and authentic to the original piece in every way, and yet in and of itself adds so much more. Congratulations to our first prize winner. You will be receiving 1 year's full premium membership on Skillshare.com, granting access to the many thousands of courses available there, as well as a Huion GT-156 V2. This is Huion's brand new sleek and portable digital display drawing tablet. It has 8,192 levels of pressure sensitivity. It comes with a 3-in-1 cable to help you get rid of mess on your desktop and create a concise experience, and it also has an ultra slim body, only 15mm thick and 1.5 kilos in weight, making it easy to carry around and use with your laptop to create things on the go, as well as set it up and use it in your home studio. It has upgraded touch bar function and 14 user-defined express keys for the creation of your own user-defined shortcuts to help you save time. This device is sleek and portable and professional, and thanks to Huion's extra awesome coupon code for you guys, it's even more affordable than ever. The device usually retails for $5.99 USD, and with the special discount code for this community, you can get 5% off using the coupon code 156JAZZA, which again is available for a limited time and can be applied on Amazon and Huion.com. So if anyone watching this wants to check out getting one for themselves, it's, super affordable now, so go check it out. The first prize winners of both the open and the community categories will receive 1 year's full supporter status on newgrounds.com, enabling ad-free enjoyment of the website, username changes, secret content, exclusive previews, and more. You can check that out with a link in the description. Now it's time to move on to the community prize, and this is where all of those finalists and the runner-up can be in the same pool of judgment, and I can pass the responsibility on to you, and you can see how difficult it is to pick a winner, because my God, it's not easy. So here's how it works. I've created a link in the description that goes to a gallery showing in order that you can vote in with the number attached, the entries that are considered for the community prize, and at the bottom of that page, you can click on the link to go to the poll where you can then vote on the entry that you want to win. So go check it out and choose wisely, because the vote you cast will count towards someone winning a fantastic prize. And that prize happens to be a Huion Inspiroy G10T digital tablet. This is a new drawing tablet from Huion with an ultra-light metal housing design, 8,192 levels of pressure sensitivity, wireless USB mode available with the included USB receiver so you can use your tablet without any tethers, and of course it has 6 customized press keys and touch support on the device. The G10T is usually $139.99 USD, but as with the other 2 tablet prizes in this challenge of the month, there is a special discount for you guys of 5% off when you use the coupon code, and it's only available for a limited time, so check it out with the link in the description. I'll be announcing the winner of the community prize from my Twitter and my daily vlog about 2 weeks from now, so you can keep up to date there, and I'll be contacting the winner of the community prize on their newgrounds.com account page, as well as any other prize winner in this competition. I want to thank all of the sponsors for the challenge of the month who make these challenges so exciting with their prizes and services that they provide, which of course I can definitely vouch for and really value, so go check them out. So that's it for this challenge of the month, ladies and gentlemen. This was really unique and fun, seeing so many different results that came from the same foundation, and it was really cool just to see how creative people could be within that sort of boundary. I think doing a colouring competition is really fun. We did one a couple of years ago, and doing this one now makes me think, we should probably come back and do this once every year or two. Anyways, I want to thank you so much for watching and participating. Make sure to stay tuned for next week when I announce the next challenge of the month theme, but otherwise that is it for now. I want to thank you so much for participating and watching, and until next time, I'll see you later. Make sure to subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos, and while you're at it, check out my shop where I sell ebooks, brushes, photo references, video courses, and more. There's another video you might enjoy from my channel over there, and you can also check out my behind the scenes daily vlog channel, Daily JAZZA. That's it for now, and until next time, I'll see you later.